Hello YouTube, Mewtwo here with another package and pickups video. And this time I thought I'd change things up a bit. I'm doing a lot of videos, and particularly package and pickup videos on retro gaming stuff. I thought, it's time for a change. So I thought, I'll pick up a lawn and garden sprayer. And she's a real beaut too. I don't know if you can make it out on camera there, but it's got a lot, adjustable nozzle, funnel top, shower spray. Oh, it looks like I've got it open, haven't opened it fully, but I'm really excited about getting this one open, because I'd say this is going to be a real nice pickup. Or in reality, this is actually, or I hope it is. I hope it isn't a lawn and garden sprayer. This should be a box of Sega Master System games that have come all the way over from Canada a while back, and really a while back now. A member of the Sega 8-bit forums, SMS Maniac, put up a kind of a thread of games for sale and trade, and he had a number of games on there that I was interested in, and we kind of went back and forth on the list a few times, because a few other people were interested and bought some of the games, and a few of them didn't have manuals, and I tend to try and pick up complete games for the Master System. So eventually we agreed on a set of games, and we had a price in mind too, and then it came down to work out the shipping. Now, I had bought games before off him, but it was only I think it was 2 or 3, and it was a small light package, so it was sent via airmail. But when it came to pricing this bundle, which is it's not that light, it's reasonably sized, I suppose, the shipping and for this package was going to be $55, I think it was, to go airmail. And to put into perspective, we had agreed a price of $80 for the contents, so the shipping was going to be nearly as much. And I was like, oh my! I think everyone generally hates paying for shipping. It's kind of like a necessary evil. But when it's going to cost you nearly as much as the games themselves, so neither the seller or myself would feel like it was particularly he wasn't seeing the money, because he didn't charge any handling or anything. This is just what Canada Post charged, and I wasn't going to see any sort of great benefit. So in the end, to cut down on the cost, I decided to try sending it by C-mail. And that would cost $20, but the kind of catch was that it would take 4 to 6 weeks instead of, say, 4 to 6 days. Now, I thought about it and says, well, that's $35 or nearly thereabouts cheaper than by sending it by air. And really, I'm in no great hurry. Obviously you like to get your packages sooner rather than later, but as long as I know they're on the way, I can wait. So I said, okay, let's send it that way, keep the cost to $100 flat, I think it was, and I'll wait for it to arrive. And it actually took 2 months to arrive, and after 6 weeks I was starting to get a little worried, because I've heard before maybe C-mail isn't as reliable in terms of your package arriving safely. But as it turns out, here it is in the end. It got here. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it sat in customs for a couple of weeks as well. So, without further ado, let's crack this open, and let's hopefully find out that this is not it's not a garden sprayer or whatever the hell that is in the box. So, some paper, a lot of paper, more paper. I'm going to clear out this paper. Okay, so I've cleared out the paper, and as you can see, there's a bunch of Master System goodness left. So let's see what we have. At least I hope it's Master System, unless we got confused. What comes out first? It is the American release of Joe Montana Football. It's one of the later titles, hence it's got the kind of cut off triangle Sega logo. I really like this box design that they did for the later releases. It certainly was an improvement on the earlier ones. Full English back. And let's see. All present and complete on the inside. And geez, that manual is in superb condition. Like normally, I find with the American vertical manuals, they curl out of the box. They tend not to sit in, but that one is really great condition. So, what's next? The rare one comes out second. I didn't plan that, but that's just the way it is. This game here is a shooter. It was released in Europe as well, but the difference is that the American version was released by mail order only, and has, as you can see, this kind of two-tone cover. So I think you had to like send in. It was like through some sort of club letter or something that people would then send in a token, and they can order the game and pay for it. It wasn't released in shops, or it wasn't typically released in shops. So let's get it open. There we go. And again, in very good condition, no damage at all. So this is quite a tricky game to get. The American version of Power Strike, the mail order version. Apparently it's a great game too. I already have the sequel, Power Strike 2, but I was really pleased, to be able to pick up. I don't have a copy of Power Strike 1, so to get the mail order version is a great way to pick up the original Power Strike. And what comes out next? Oh, another pretty interesting title, I would say. It's Poseidon Wars 3D, and with 2D mode. This is the last 3D game I was missing. I had a copy of either European or American of all the other 3D games, so this makes my final, or this completes the kind of 3D game mini set. So I was, again, that along with Power Strike, Poseidon Wars was probably the most the game I was most excited to get. And again, beautiful condition, like perfect, absolutely perfect. Like these don't even need clean, and they're in that good condition. Like it makes a change for me, babe, I tell you that. So let's dig down for some more, and we have Great Football. Anything but great, but I actually have a copy of this, so it'll probably go for trade. It's one of those games that you get it for the collection, or if you want to say complete the great mini set or something, but not one that I'm going to break out and play too much. And oops, sorry. As you can see, the manual's doing its "I want to be free, let me slide." It's like a child. So I'm just going to let it go. But again, other than that typical American manual sliding thing, it's in pretty good nick. And all of these, oh now I can't close it. All of these so far have even had their just about to see it. Have had their hang tab, or as X-File would call it, their wee willy winkle. No, that's not right. What does he call it? Wee willy winky intact or something? Oh, God, I forgot. I nearly forgot about this one. And yet, how could I? Because this was another one high up on my my wants list. This is Spy vs Spy on the Sega card release version of this. I already have the standard card release, the European version, but this is probably the second hardest card game to get after Great Soccer. And so I was, I think I'm missing Bank Panic and Great Soccer to finish the card set, but this one had been one I'd been looking for a while and couldn't get at a decent price. I can't get this open. I'm going to pause the camera while I get this open. There we go, again in great condition. I often find, and this is just the way it seems to be, the little sleeves that come with these card games, the little plastic sheet thing to make them sit properly into the container, they are like gold dust or something. People just must have just disposed of them, because I think I have like 2 or something. They just, I don't know, they're so hard to get. Most copies you see on eBay as well, they end up they don't have them as either. So, but other than that, in real nice condition, hang to have in place. Let's dig out another one. Rambo. This was released in the rest of the world, except it wasn't known as Rambo First Blood Part 2. It was known as Secret Command. And it's basically the exact same game, but Sega licensed it up in America with the Rambo license to push it further. I personally obviously prefer that it's got the Rambo license, because Rambo's cooler than just a generic character, and it's got a bit of a chip out of the corner, which I knew about beforehand. And it seems to have the poster, so I'll get that out. Just pause the camera and get that out. So there we have the insides with the poster and the manual and whatnot. This is one of Sega used to have posters in a lot of their games, kind of promoting what they were, the next lot of games. And I think this was the last one. This one here. This get in touch with Sega Software, which is completely different to the European ones. They had entirely different catalogs. I only have a very few American ones. I think I might have one copy of this, and or one other copy of this. I mean, take hold of the Sega Adventure. And other than that, I have none of the Sega of America catalogs. Naturally, being European based, I found them very hard to come across. But I really like, collecting. They're kind of like something I don't go out of my way to get, but they're a great bonus to get in the game too. And just for comparison, here's the American version versus the European version. I think it's fair to say that Rambo is a little more eye-catching than this guy here, who they didn't even give a mouse. It's like, gee, how little effort could he have taken? Even the logo, it's kind of bold-faced Rambo versus the typical old, simple Sega. I don't know what font that is that they used in all their early releases. Other than that, like it's fairly similar. In fact, the game itself is like all but identical. So it's one of those kind of variants to pick up if you're interested in variants. But for a lot of collectors, I suppose, if you just want the game, if you're in Europe, pick up Secret Command. If you're in America, I suppose pick up Rambo. As a bit of a, I like the Rambo films as well, so I kind of wanted the Rambo one anyway. But back to the box, and we'll get out the next one. And we have Hang On and Safari Hunt, the combo cartridge, which has got, the typical. Normally, they just have the one image and a text, but this time we get two images. Aren't we lucky? I love that one there, the cat claw, and it's one of those combo spines, so it has the blue color along the spine. There's the back shots. I picked up this one because I think it was exclusive to the American region. I think we didn't get this particular combo cartridge in Europe. Now, I know obviously Hang On and Safari Hunt were released in multiple ways. You could get Hang On and Safari Hunt were bundled into a lot of the consoles, and I think there were separate releases of them anyway, and there were other combo cartridges. But because it was an exclusive, I decided, sure, I'll pick it up too. And I couldn't get it open, so I had to pause.